Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Haiku Friday. I have two dates written down, and it's the 15th, November 15th, 2024. Um, yes, it is Haiku Friday. No matter what's going on in our world, we're going to continue Haiku Friday. Oh, a little cup of red rose tea. Always still the best. Some of the cheapest tea around, but some of my favorite tea. All right. Let's get started. We have three from Max Q, and there's a theme to this, and let's see if you can pick up on it. Uh, what are we feeling? It's election dejection. Keep those tears flowing. Second one from Max Q. Crying in our beer. It's more than grief, it is fear. Yes, the end is near. Special bonus for rhyming on those. Those are good. And Max Q sent me a lovely picture to go along with this, and featuring Man Ray's alarmas rather, tears. Alarmus meaning tears. Actually, a lacrimation. That's another. I used to write that in my reports as a paramedic when somebody was crying. Extreme lacrimation. Um, yeah, lacrima, I believe, is set in Spanish. Yeah, so we've got the larmes. Is that the French for tears? Maybe lachmes. All right, so that is Max Q's. Yes, a theme. Here is one from Anonymous. Now, Anonymous is worried about uh, being targeted, perhaps, by the upcoming Gestapo, which has been promised to us by our friends and family members who voted in a rapist, liar, economic failure of a human being, convicted felon. And accordingly, Anonymous is worried. It's too late for me to worry, I think, but Anonymous is worried. So Anonymous wrote, "Are you kidding me? Gates, Attorney General, Daffy Duck declined?" It's true. It's true. At first, these things are alarming. And then you see RFK as Health and Human Services nominee. It's like, to me, yeah, it's almost as if the Legion of Doom all got severe head injuries, or dementia of some sort. It's uh, it's crazy, um, and sometimes you just have to laugh. Just have to laugh. You have to laugh until you cry, or not. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm not going to give that to them. You know that. All right, here we go. Here is Rico San's ethics and morals, magical thinking and hope. Now things of the past. And that was one I was supposed to read last week, and I didn't. I had gotten screwed up. I was a little discombobulated, and so I actually repeated one and put a new one. And so those were kind of bookends of ones that Rico's on, but he's right. He said, maybe you should read what I sent you last week, and because it's still apropos. And he is correct. All right. And here is mine. Clown car brings laughs. The world watches in horror. Circus killing floor. Yes. All right. That's mine. Yeah. Okay. Well, that concludes the formal reading of these haikus. And if you want to stay tuned, I'll tell you a little bit what's going on. Okay. So here we go. Here is, I've been working on this painting a long time. It is a variation of Van Gogh's uh, Peach Blossoms, I think it's called. And this is my take on it. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. All part of my emergency room series. I have so many different series. But that's one of the emergency room series. You have to, have themes. When they do the wings of the museum, I want them to have plenty of works for each wing. What else has been going on? I've started my memorization process for a play that I'm supposed to be in April. So I've already started memorizing the lines to be off book. It's heavy line load, as they say. So I'm starting in on that. A little bit here and there. Got time, but time creeps up on you. So let's see. So I think we're going to, for the foreseeable future, have to do a little bit of talking about what's going on and maybe how to kind of survive this thing and all that. So we're going to spend a little time doing that today. Um, so I want to emphasize to you how it important it is to take care of yourself during this time. To make sure that you eat well. If you have substance abuse problems, even minorly so, try to rein those in the best you can to be clear headed during these times. There will be important decisions that you will have to make. Yes, eat well, exercise, take care of yourself, take care of your spirit. If you are a prayer, I would recommend praying, meditating, all of that. Laugh, create things. Um, I think those are really things to do because those are, if you look at the other side of the coin, those are usually not and I will use the scriptural term to call them the enemy, what the enemy is doing. The enemy of your health and happiness, the enemy of your spiritual growth, the enemy of being a good human being. Lots of times that's mired in substance abuse, in disease, and all sorts of other problems, and certainly lack of physical fitness. So, do try to take care of yourself. So, here's something I've been thinking about a little bit. Is that I don't, you know what? I've been kind of remembering, kind of like going through, like, what if Harris had won? How would I be feeling? And you know what? I would be feeling happier, certainly, but not, I would still have those worries and concerns because I do tend to worry a little bit too much because I think we've been on this vector probably since Rush Limbaugh and other liars, and actually a lack of ethos being superseded by maybe material gains and also the death of a lot of our social institutions have contributed to this. But we've been on this vector, and I think we would have eventually gotten to this promised dictatorship. Maybe it would have taken a little bit longer, but maybe it's good that we get here and people can see what it's like, the horrors of it. Um, if Trump does promise to do what he says, and actually he lies about everything, but I will think that he will try to deport um, every person, undocumented immigrant. I think he will try to deport them and we will have crops rotting in the field. In fact, even if he doesn't, just the word that he's going to will probably curtail a lot of the immigration. And we're not going to be harvesting things. And especially when he's going after legal immigrants, all of that. As he goes after trans people, which incidentally he did, for those of you who have family members who say, I saw the commercials about how he didn't, that how Harris paid for transgender prisoners you know, to get gender affirming care in the prisons. Well, you know, Trump did too, by the way. Trump, if people really cared about this, they would take 30 seconds to research it, but they don't. They want to hear things that they agree with to justify their evil, bad, demonically possessed decision making. And so that is part of this, is why they could have looked up Oh, Trump actually did that too because it's a requirement by law. And then you could have looked up and seen how many prisoners did this actually happen with. Now, I just heard from a source this morning that it was two prisoners during the entire time of Kamala Harris being the attorney general for the state of California, doing what was constitutionally required in providing care for those prisoners, those two prisoners. But that the facts aren't going to get in the way of people who support this evil entity known as Donald Trump. He is their cult leader, and that's the way it goes. So, what do you do? I think part of it I've talked about is you do need to take care of yourself, take care of yourself physically fit, get in as good a shape as you can get, be ready, you know, and also pray if you're a prayer, meditate, all those things. I just went through those. But also, you're hearing stories about people divorcing their family members, or wives divorcing husbands who voted for Donald Trump, and people pleading on the internet, oh, we shouldn't let politics get between friends and family. Well, the reality is that if people couldn't simply vote for somebody who said that they were going to keep you safe, whether that vote counted or not in the election of their state because of the electoral college, um, those people are not going to be there for you anyways. They're not going to be there for you when the Gestapo comes, wants information, when it's time for them to testify against you, saying bad things about their cult leader. Even if these people weren't under the influence of the cult, they just to do a simple thing to vote in the privacy of their own home for somebody who would protect you, whether you are a person of color, whether you are an immigrant, undocumented or not, all those things, you know, all the things that these folks voted for, their own self-interest, they voted against it because deep down, I think some people, no matter if they've served in the military, they look forward to seeing America fail. They talk in terms of, oh, this is a failed, we've seen Rome go through this, and they kind of want to see it happen, or else they would have voted for somebody who would have made it their life's mission to make sure that it wouldn't happen. So there's no getting through that. All you can do is limit your contact with these folks. Some of that means you just have superficial conversations with people, which you can't, they're in your life and they're always going to be in your life. And you just can't. Personally, if somebody didn't vote for Harris, I'm not going to listen to them say, "Can you believe what Donald Trump did?" Because, yeah, you couldn't bring yourself to vote against his opponent. Yeah, I can believe that because there are apparently a lot of people like you. So why couldn't I believe that? So, anyways, you have to figure out how to do that. But I would limit your exposure to folks that are going to make you angry, sad. Hopefully, people will remember planting. Are going to, maybe this is where we were supposed to head, and we're going to reap what we have sown. Unfortunately, the dummies who planted the seeds will not remember planting the seeds. They'll say, I just didn't really expect he would do that. Well, were you not born 4 years ago? I don't think they let people who are 6, 7 years old vote. So you should remember, unless you're cognitively in decline, um, and realize that he would do all these things because he's a criminal. Yeah, always been a criminal, and you voted for him. All right. So, yeah, I'd like to say that we're just going to talk about haiku, and I'm going to show off my art and encourage you to do things, but uh, that's not the world we live in anymore. This is, I don't want to get in the hackneyed phrase of resistance, but uh, creating, you have to flex those creative muscles for this resistance. You have to talk the truth. You have to exercise your cognitive, your physical, and your spiritual muscles during this time. And I would say a key reason to do this is because they, being the enemy, and I, again, scripturally speaking, the enemy, they do not want you to do this. So please do it. Please join me on Haiku Friday every Friday, pretty much every Friday. I guess there's been a few absences, excused absences, but please join me. Please send me your haikus. And you know what? There's a lot of beautiful things. Go out and take a walk today, wherever you are. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's hotter than hell, get out there because you get outside and you get moving and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. You need it. We're all connected to this earth. We're all outside animals. So do it. Do it. Um, so do these things, right? They'll make you feel better. And send me a haiku. I'd love to read your haikus. You know I would. It's why? Because well, it's Haiku Friday. That's what we do here. We read haikus, and I'm going to read your haiku. And send me your stuff. All right, love you guys. And I think this time 6 years ago, I'd say we would get through this. Well, we may not get through this, but we're going to get somewhere. And this is the time for being a hero. I can tell you, uh, having served in the military, having served in the fire department, been in dangerous things, this is living a heroic life right now is no shit for real. So do it. All right. It's easy for me to say somebody in my last chapter of life. So I get it if you can't really do this if you are starting out young person, but we can all do a little bit. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.